Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ and search my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty. And there were good books in there, but with so many annuals there, it wasn't a whole heck of a lot popping out like normal. Avengers was really good with how they incorporated just Ghost Rider and a demonic card. It was awesome. It was a really good book, as was The Last Night on Earth. Just another, feels like this is going to be kind of the last hurrah for Snyder and Capullo together on Batman. So if this is how they're going out, it's a very well-written story with just kind of how it's going. I like it. I don't know if it would be their best arc together, but it's up there. And the other one that really stood out, I kind of said my piece about not liking annuals as much, but Justice League Dark Annual was very good. I really enjoyed how they incorporate what they did with Swamp Thing, and it was also continued into when the normal issues picked back up. So that's a breath of fresh air. It wasn't just kind of a useless one-shot. There was actually some stakes to the story here, and I enjoyed it. I like how they did Swamp Thing, and it's reinvigorated, at least for a little while, my interest in this book. So kudos to Justice League Dark on that one. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that stood out. Nothing was bad. It was just kind of Everything else was okay. Those are the thing. Avengers was just a good book, but it stood out because everything else was just kind of average, and that's not a slight on the book. It's just kind of sounds weird to say it was a week of comics last week, but yeah, we'll see what this week's bounty yields when I get back here at the homestead. See you in a bit. Hey everyone, I am finally back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. It was a long and exhausting adventure today, and I didn't expect it to take so long, but it was a fun one but an exhausting one, so let's get to the bounty. We're going to start off with House of X number 2. Gotta be honest, I'm not digging this too much. I mean, it's okay, but it's kind of hard to follow. And just with the 2 concurrent every other week mini-series titles going on, I'm just not digging it as much as I thought I would. But this is going to be which once again, falling into the trap of event books, this is going to be what dictates the status quo for the X-Men, or at least that's what they're telling us. So yeah, gonna have to read it if you want to be an X-Men fan. So I guess they've checkmated us as fans there over at Marvel. But yep, House of X number 2. From there we go to a book that I am really enjoying, though. That is Savage Avengers number 4. Just the badass gritty Avengers book with the badass gritty Marvel characters. I'm liking it so far, and I like Jerry Dugan, and yeah, so far so good on this, and it's a book that I really enjoy. So yep, pumped up about this one. Savage Avengers number 4. From there we go to Daredevil number 9. It's also another good story arc. The No Devil's Only God story by Chip Zdarsky. Really been enjoying his run so far, and this is another good story arc thus far in his run on Daredevil, and I hope the momentum continues, and I hope it's another good book, and I hope Daredevil, it continues to be up there with one of my favorite books, because it did pretty well fall into a skimming book with Charles Soule writing, and so Chip Zdarsky has it up back to where I like it to be. So kudos there for making this book one of my favorites again. Daredevil number 9. And to round things out on the Marvel side of things, we have Dead Man Logan number 10. It's coming to an end. It's still awesome. Wrapping up everything. If you were a fan of this character and the original work, everything that you could like about this character is coming to a close. It's sad. It's like as the issues tick down, I'm reminded that I'm coming close to the end, and it's a book. When this ends, it's gonna be something that's gonna be hard for me to. I'm trying to if I compare it almost like watching Cowboy Bebop. Now, granted, I didn't watch Cowboy Bebop as it aired, but whenever I was watching the series, and they kind of, you knew from reading on the internet that, hey, there's only 28 episodes, or however many, I think it's 28. No, it was less than that. Either way, I'm tired and I apologize, but when you knew there was a set number of episodes, and they weren't still making new ones. And you're watching all the different sessions of Cowboy Bebop, and then when it starts getting to those last ones that you'd read about from the episode guys on the internet, you're like, oh no, it's coming to an end. Oh, I don't want to come to an end. Even though it's been a beautiful story and they ended it before it jumped the proverbial shark, you're like, oh, I don't want this to happen because I like it. That is the same similar feeling I'm having to this book right now. It's just like, I see the end coming. I understand that, it's best to probably end it now with what they're doing with this book than to continue it and have me in, another year here on the Comic Shop Adventures going, yeah, this used to be good, but now it sucks. So I appreciate that as somebody who likes things to end on a high note. On the flip side of things, it's making me sad. And, I'm going to read this book 3 more times. And, yeah, kind of make me a little sad, but I'm really hoping that it goes out with the bang that it deserves, and we'll see more loose ends tied up, I'm sure, or if a few more come open to be tied up in the last few issues here in issue 10. Man Logan number 10. From there we go to the world of DC, and it is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 3, Issue 4 of 6. It's just been a fun book, and I love how, speaking of things coming to an end, something that I didn't think would mesh so well, Batman and TMNT, it meshed beautifully. All the stories have been, all the parts of it have had different types of stakes and story arcs, and it's been great. And I have a lot of fun reading this book, and I love it, and, really, really cool. Don't have quite the emotional attachment to this as I did the Wolverine books, but still, another great set of stories is coming to an end, and, it's sad, but it's always better to end it, while it's still good than to milk it for too long to where it goes bad. So, I feel like they're doing that with this book as well. Batman TMNT Part 3, Issue 4. And speaking of Batman, we go to Batman number 76 and the continuation of the City of Bane story arc. And I just want to point out that I really like this cover. I'm a sucker for these kind of covers, and I always like whenever the title card is being worked into the scene. I love it. But, kind of should see what Tom King does. It's been well documented, my love-hate relationship with his writing, but so far I've enjoyed it, and we'll see if it continues. City of Bane, number 76. From there, we go to The Green Lantern, number 10. The Guardians of the Multiverse, and I'm interested to really see this. If you can take a look at the cover, just all these different versions of Green Lantern. It takes more than respect for the history of a character for me to really think that you're a great writer. There's writers that have a tremendous amount of respect for the past that I don't enjoy. And Morrison, while overall I like him a lot, he's come up short a few times, especially in this book, but with all these multiverse Green Lanterns and all the respect for the history of so many other characters that Morrison has, I'm really interested to see what this is all about. It looks cool. The cover's cool. I'm interested to see what kind of Green Lanterns are from all over the multiverse and what kind of little homages and nods that somebody with the history of the knowledge of the history of comic books that Grant Morrison has, what he will do. So it's a 2-part series, it says, and we'll see what happens. The Green Lantern, number 10. And finally, we go to Justice League number 29. They're starting a Starro story, which Starro was the first Justice League villain back in the Silver Age. It seems like a starfish that controls your mind. It seems hokey, but they've reinvented this character to where it could be very, very creepy and intimidating. So I have a soft spot for Starro. I like how they used Starro on Batman Beyond when they did the Justice League and Batman Beyond. But, something that you thought was for the past with the right writer can be brought up to be just fierce and scary. And Starro's no exception to that rule. And I trust Scott Snyder to write this well. So, Justice League number 29. And that is it for me this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a share. If you'd like to see other videos like this, please subscribe. I have content not just from the world of comic books, from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, and all things geek culture. Be sure to go visit my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89 for more content. On my Facebook page, you'll find every Thursday my collection comic of the week blog that is exclusive to my Facebook page. But on that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.